Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Rhea Ripley made the save on Raw last week when Roxanne Perez attacked Women's World Champion Sky during her match with NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer. The prodigy was set to face La Primera the next night on NXT, but didn't want to wait. Perez and later, Julia teamed up on Sky and Vaquer until Ripley turned the tide. Mommy handed the title back to Sky, but claimed she wanted to be the one to win the title from her friend. With a showdown slated between Ripley and Perez, their match on Raw could play out in any of the next 5 ways. This is a possibility, but not one officials should book. Perez is one of WWE's top up-and-comers, and was even the final person eliminated by Charlotte Flair in the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble. Despite her standing, she's lost her last 4 matches to Vaquer, Jordynne Grace, Julia, and Kalani Jordan, respectively. She needs a victory in a bad way, but is lower on the totem pole than Mommy. To give Ripley back some luster, she could squash the diminutive prodigy in about 3 or 4 minutes. It would hurt Perez's credibility on the main roster, but is still a direction the match could take. Since she's much smaller than the imposing Eradicator, Perez may resort to underhanded tactics to claim victory on Raw. She's done so numerous times in matches in NXT, and even raked Vaquer's eyes during the bout last week. The prodigy also factored into the decision between Sky and La Primera, so she isn't afraid to cheat. If Ripley overcomes everything she throws at her, Perez could use a weapon or a chair. Both women need a win, but Perez stands more to lose with another huge setback in 2025. Cheating to win would protect Ripley, while also giving the former NXT win a signature victory on Raw. Perez may try to cheat, but gets caught when she faces off with Rhea Ripley on Raw. She'll have to wrestle a near-perfect match against the former Women's World Champion to stand a chance at victory. If she gets frustrated, Perez may try to end it with a chair. Ripley may also try to stop Perez from cheating, but get caught. This would lead to a victory for the prodigy while protecting the Eradicator. A different star, like Sky or Bianca Belair, could also interfere, causing a disqualification or no contest finish. Whatever happens, both stars need to look good in their showdown. Bianca Belair has some grounds to be upset with how Ripley was added to her earned title match at WrestleMania 41. The problem was that anger with Rhea also spilled onto Sky, whom Belair disrespected at many turns. The EST the pin at the show of shows, and should be moving back to SmackDown. In a quick backstage interview, however, she mentioned that she wasn't done with Ripley. Despite having broken fingers, Belair could cost Ripley a win against Perez on Raw. It would continue their feud while giving the prodigy a huge win. While it would likely mean another high-profile loss for the former 2-time NXT Women's Champion, Ripley winning is a strong possibility. She is a former champion and the top face on Raw. Perez is renowned for her in-ring skills at such a young age, even making a case for being one of the top women in WWE before even joining the main roster. A 15-minute match, full of dangerous spots, counters, and near falls would do wonders for both women. Ripley is always a huge fan favorite, but Perez is a scrappy underdog in most of her matches. Mommy could beat Perez cleanly after a great showcase of the future of the division. Matt Sorotsky is a sports journalist from outside of Boston, Massachusetts, who has written about sports for a local newspaper, the Metroist Daily News. Matt has written about professional wrestling for the past year, but has been writing lyrics, short stories, and novels in his spare time. He writes around 30 to 50 articles per month. During his time on writing for Sportskeeda, Matt has written about a variety of topics, including the history of the business, as well as about the current stars and product. He follows numerous promotions like the WWE, AEW, Raw, MLW, and JPW, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and WoW. The WWE Universe loves nothing more than an unexpected showdown, and few bouts capture the imagination like a potential clash between Rhea Ripley, the indomitable Women's World Champion, and Roxanne Perez, the resilient prodigy from NXT. If this match were booked on an episode of Raw, the possibilities would be endless, not just because of the contrast in styles, but because of what both women represent. Rhea is the embodiment of dominance, power, and established supremacy. Roxanne is the symbol of heart, grit, and the next generation's unstoppable rise. With that in mind, here are 5 creative ways a match between Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez could finish on WWE Raw. 1. Clean victory for Rhea Ripley after a hard-fought battle. In this finish, Roxanne Perez shocks Rhea and the audience by taking the champion deeper into the match than anyone expected. For 15 to 20 minutes, Roxanne showcases her technical prowess, her never-say-die attitude, and her incredible stamina. She counters Rhea's power with speed and heart, hitting sudden roll-ups, crisp dives, and submissions that have Ripley momentarily rattled. However, experience and power eventually win out. Rhea, weathering the storm, catches Roxanne midair on a crossbody attempt and transitions it into a brutal riptide for the definitive pinfall victory. Why this works? It protects Roxanne by showing her as a true contender. It reaffirms Rhea's dominance without making Perez look weak. It builds long-term storytelling. Perez is not ready yet, but someday, she might be. 2. Dominic Mysterio causes a distraction, leading to a DQ finish. Given Rhea's current association with the Judgment Day and her mommy dynamic with Dominic, a more chaotic finish could involve outside interference. As Roxanne starts building momentum, hitting a series of near falls, and even locking Rhea in a desperate submission hold, Dominic races down to ringside, causing a commotion. The distraction throws the referee and Roxanne off just enough for Rhea to capitalize. But rather than win cleanly, Rhea gets caught using a foreign object or an illegal move, resulting in a disqualification victory for Roxanne Perez. Why this works? It protects Rhea's character. She retains her villain edge without suffering a pinfall loss. It gives Roxanne a technical win over a champion, instantly boosting her stock. It sets up a future rematch with higher stakes, possibly for the title. 3. Double countout after a brutal ringside brawl. Another high-stakes, physical finish would involve both competitors pushing each other beyond the limits, to the point where the match simply cannot continue. After a furious exchange, Rhea and Roxanne spill out of the ring, brawling around ringside. Roxanne shows her feisty side, refusing to back down. Rhea, shocked and enraged by the defiance, gets more vicious. The brawl becomes so uncontrollable that neither woman can make it back into the ring by the referee's count of 10. Resulting in a double count out. Why this works? It protects both stars. Neither takes a clean loss. It tells a story of mutual respect and unfinished business. It leaves the fans wanting more, the best outcome for a first encounter. 4. Shock upset. Roxanne Perez wins with a surprise roll-up. Sometimes